And here for the first figure to unopen, which is Darth Vader himself. Now, it's glued to the card back, so that's where the steak knife comes in again. And we carefully cut away. Just have to poke in. There you go. So I don't want to do all the sawing on camera. Horrible noise. I'll be right back when it's complete. Another reason to cut it off the retro card back is because it looks battered anyway. So if there's any part bleeding, no one will ever notice. Keeps the other cards pristine since they look more realistic. Now, of course, this is a retro Vader. I don't have a retro-looking loose Vader from 1977 yet. Maybe the next toy show in Ottawa will correct that. Because I'll also look at that toy booth on Saturday in the Montreal Flea Market. You saw the interview with the vendor from last month. Maybe that will help also. Because he always has loose Star Wars figures. That's where I got a few of the ones I possess today that I had to use the reference book to determine their source, their era. Alright, so here's a undamaged Vader card back. Here is Vader himself. So I don't keep the safety instructions, and nobody cares. Here's the cutting away of the lightsaber, the retro-looking lightsaber. Oh, there you go. And then remove Vader himself. Again, I'll do it off camera so you don't have to hear a horrible plastic crunching noise. Got him. Now, if you look at Vader, his robe is connected in front completely. No chain, unlike the other one. His pauldron is completely black. There's no red, but he does have the green and red buttons, which are identical. He only moves, he only moves a little bit. His legs move separately with his stuff there. One arm is slightly bent more than the other, and it is designed to hold the lightsaber. So let's just make sure that can happen. Approach from above, I think. Come on. All right, I'll be back when I get his lightsaber in his hand. There we go. Lightsaber in hand. Perfect. Now, switch his cape around. Now, he has red eyes, just like Darth Vader 4 in my Star Wars comic series that I grew. Stands upright perfectly well. There he is in front of his card back. Don't worry, the picture will be cropped later. So, that's Darth Vader, and we'll move on to Obi-Wan next. Difference between the card backs. While the retro version only has text, but lists the figures in that form. This figure actually has an 8-car cross-sell, which shows the vintage collection. Now this one is copyrighted 2022, as is the retro card. Good. Alright, here's the Obi-Wan card back. Now I'm going to keep the retro sticker in place so that you can make him out. Nice, he has a blue saber. There's the card back. So now we'll open him and see what he looks like. I can see from the bubble, this Obi-Wan comes with both a lightsaber and a blaster, because at first he wasn't that proficient with a lightsaber if you've watched the Obi-Wan series. No spoilers on how it ends, though. Alright, and here we go. Here is Obi-Wan. So there he is standing. Seems to stand pretty well. His hood. Now, let's see. Will his hood actually come up over his head in a reasonable... Well, can barely see anything, but there he is disguised. Good. Now, question. Does his hood come off? Maybe? Maybe not. Oh. I think we're getting somewhere. Look, I think his hood will come off. Because there is his blaster holster. Now, let me see here. Let's move his arms out of the way. Can his weapon fit in his blaster holster? Okay. Will it fit there? No. Will the handle fit in here? There you go. There you go. Good. So let's see if I can take off his robes. Have him without the robe. There you go. See? There we are. Now, both hands are capable of holding stuff, so that means that one hand... Now, I don't know if Obi-Wan is left-handed or not, but one hand is capable of holding a lightsaber. See? There you go. So there he is, without his robe on. Now, like Luke, because his blaster's on the right side, he should be able to hold the blaster in the other hand. Just there. There you go. There you go. So that is that way, and then we'll put his robe on him and try both again. There's Obi-Wan with his robe up, down. There's Obi-Wan with his robe up, but showing his face. Okay, so that's good. So that's Obi-Wan figure, and we move on to Reva, the third sister, next. So no change here. Reva, the same card back, the same printing, but you see it shows... So I have the Grand Inquisitor, I have the fifth brother, I have Net 8, but they're both in retro form only. If you look at the card back, same figures. Well, who is that? Boba Fett Merrick, third sister, Obi-Wan, Anakin Padawan. See? Darth Vader, Din Djarin. See, not the same troops, not the same figures in the vintage collection as they are in the retro collection. All right, so take Reva out of her card back and we'll go from there. Here's Reva in her bubble. Retro Reva. That kind of rolls off the tongue, right? Retro Reva. So there's a picture of the empty card back. And so now we get her out of her package, so we have to carefully cut beside the saber, the retro-looking saber, which looks suspiciously like the other one, just doesn't have a metal handle. And get Reva herself out. All right, there we go. Reva herself is out. She has a fabric cape. No, a more rubber cape, like the one on Lando and Leia. Now, she should... Let's see, there's the handle. Okay, and ooh, careful. Can't approach it from above or below. There we go. See? Now, won't be able to turn it, but there she is holding it. There she is in front of her card back, and there's her separate picture. So now we'll bring all three figures together. Get them with their card back backgrounds, put the card backs in the card back box, and put the figures on the shelf after I return those figures to the shelf. There we go. There are the three figures together, all from retro. Darth Vader, Obi-Wan, and Reva, the third sister. There's the picture, which will be the thumbnail, and now we go put them on the shelf. Before I put them on the shelf, I'm really tempted to compare Empire Strikes Back Vader with the blue and red chest piece, with the Rogue One Vader, with the green and red chest piece, versus the Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader, blue and green chest piece. Now, I don't know how different he looks. It would be most fascinating to look, but I don't know how different he would look. I mean, his cloak comes a bit closer, perhaps. That'd be very interesting. Anyway, I'll put these three figures on the shelf now. All right, so here they're going to go on the shelf, in front of card backs for now. So there's their picture. Let's see if I can do the flash picture. I don't know if that helps or hurts, but you got to have the two to compare. Star Killer can now be opened because I have a 6-inch one. Of course, you don't open that, and you've seen my choices on the last video. So that is all for... Oh, and I'll preview what I'm going to open next. As you see, the remaining figures in the Obi-Wan line that I was able to find were in retro form, hence why I'm opening the retro figures. And the only other 3.5-inch Vader I had, besides the Rogue One, was the Empire Strikes Back One. Although I'm not entirely sure about that one. Look at that. 2 Vaders. So you have the Rogue One Vader from the Vintage Collection, so that's 2020. And you have the Rogue One when it was originally released, which is copyright 2016. So he's not the only one I have from the original Rogue One line. I also have K2SO and Orson Krennic. So I can open up the Rogue One Vader, the re-release, with no problem because I possess the original 3. So that's good to know. But I'm going to finish the Obi-Wan line next week with these 3 figures, and then move on to Rogue One Vader and Expanded Universe stuff. So see you all next week on Sean's Toy Room.